This story will probably help you understand more of why I am no contact at this point in my life. So I get a call from my dad, and at this point we had a pretty huge break, and that's that whole Tyler story. So I'll have to tell you about that. It deserves its own video. He calls me, I pick up the phone, and he's telling me that Mitzi, my family childhood dog, is actively being euthanized in that moment in real time. That was the first phone call I had received from him about her being at that place in her life. There was no phone call prior, no text, no email, no conversation like, hey, Mitzi's declining, we're gonna probably schedule the euthanasia around this time, you should probably get yourself over here and say your goodbyes. Zero contact before actively dying my family dog. And I'm angry about this still because this was a huge trauma. She was my dog. She was the one safe being in my house at that point of my life. When I would be upset, she would come and put her little head up on my bed. I would be crying and she would just console me. And I just could not believe that he was so evil. That was evil. That was a level of control I had no idea that he would stoop to at that point. It was just, Mitzi's being put down now. That was my childhood dog. She was my best friend, and she was the only unconditional love that I felt in that home. She was the only safe being that I had in that home. And he called me to tell me that the syringe was in her veins. She's actively being euthanized right now. So there was no time for me to jump in my car and get over there. There was no chance to say goodbye to her. And you might even be asking, well, where is your mom in this? She didn't text me. She didn't call me. She didn't email me. There was silence from both of them until the last minute. But not even the last minute. She was actively dying. And it wasn't like, oh, she got really bad and we had to do it right now. No, like, she declined. They had time. There was time to call me. There was time to text me. There was time for me to go over there and say goodbye to my childhood dog. She was such a good dog. And I miss her. And I feel so sad I didn't get to say goodbye. I've decided I'm gonna write a letter to her. And I don't know why it took me this long to get to this point to do this, but I think thinking about all of the trauma that I've experienced and why I am no contact with my family, because I think it's a really stigmatized situation, and people who don't have parents like my parents do not understand, which I'm glad you don't.